Good evening, lady and gentleman, the only two people who are listening to this program right now. You are listening to Doc and Lefty on Webcast One Live, Internet Radio, the finest in Des Moines. My name is Blake Lubinas. I am the your Lefty host, and the doctor this evening is out. The good doctor, Patrick Bertroche, is out. He's attending some sort of Republican fundraiser, some dinner that I found out about yesterday, although he's known about for some time. It's just like the doc to kind of do that to me. But anyway, because I have complete control over the show this evening, the doc said I could do whatever I want. And as an equal partner and co-host of this lovely program, I decided to take full authority and do something that is as close to my heart as my ribcage, and that is to talk to local musicians who I've known for a long time and kind of talk to them, pick their brains a little bit about their process, talk about the songs they like to play, talk about the scene here in Des Moines. And I am joined in studio by two very good friends of mine. We have Bradley Seidenfeld, a local Des Moines legend. There's Brad right there. He's a good-looking guy. And on my other hand, we have my good friend Brian Baker, who's a local Des Moines talent. And guys, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Really, yeah, absolutely. This was the very definition of last minute. And what I wanted to take and so I really appreciate these guys for coming in. And in probably 15 to 20 minutes or so, a very special guest and a very good friend of mine will be hopefully calling in if he can get his cell phone to work. So at least he told me that he would be able to do that. Basically, what I want the show to be about tonight is sort of acoustic singer-songwriter music. It's something that I personally enjoy. It's something that I personally perform around town. And to accomplish that, we have these two great musicians here in studio. And I would just kind of like to talk to them a little bit about what they do, what they like, and have them each play a song for you guys. And hopefully you enjoy it as much as I enjoy listening to them. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Seidenfeld. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. So you, how long have you been playing around town?
I think I've been playing here for 12 years.
12 years. Yeah. Now, you're from Des Moines originally, correct?
I am, yeah.
And so you're really familiar. What's your favorite places to play?
I probably prefer the Ducktail Lounge in
Ducktail
Clive.
Lounge.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm familiar with that place. If you haven't been to the Ducktail Lounge in Clive, it's fantastic. The owner, Jamie's a personal friend of both Brad and I. Do you know Jamie Bryan? A little bit. The owner of Ducktail. He's a great guy. But anyway, so and now you have your own. You run your own your business, if I remember correctly. And
I do, yeah.
That's a great thing to do. It makes it really easy to play. But
yeah,
how does the day and the night kind of conflict and contrast sometimes?
Well, I'd say because my other work is seasonal and my playing tends to be seasonal as well. Like I play a lot more during the summer, and my other work, which is production video stuff, is more a lot more prevalent during the summer. It gets a little tricky, but I do a lot of like Sunday patio things, and then I'll shoot during the week or Saturday night. Like nobody's really shooting at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night where when I can be out till 2 playing. So it's just scheduling and making sure the iPhone is always up to date and kind of going from there.
Fantastic. Now, is the summer sort of like? Do you prefer the outdoor gigs more so than the indoor ones?
If it's not too hot, I guess.
Did you play the Saints gig this last summer?
What's that?
Did you play the Saints gig this last summer?
I did, yeah.
That
oh my gosh,
ridiculous.
It was brutal.
It
was fun, but it was. I think I had like a speaker off at one point. Like the only speaker that was on was the one on the ground that's faced towards me, my monitor speaker, and the one that was facing the crowd was off, and people were just hearing like a muffled version, and nobody really like could tell the difference anyway, which is not a good thing. But and then that one went back on, and the other speaker like overheat. They're just overheating, and I couldn't drink enough water. So yeah, I mean the outdoor gigs are fun, but it's hard on your equipment and your voice and everything.
For sure. Now before we kick off into your the song you're going to do for us, I just got to ask you, like, sort of who are a couple of your influences, like some of the biggest guys in playing guitar vocally, songwriting wise?
Shucks. I really like David Gray a lot.
Yeah.
David Gray. As I've gotten a little bit older, I really, yeah, I mean, as far as like writing, I'll just listen to his music and then like kind of copy it basically. And then I'm a huge sucker for John Mayer. I mean, and I don't know if I am influenced by him because he's just way too wicked good for me to copy it all. But I love the sentiment in his music, even though he likes to pretend like he's too cool for it. He's pretty sentimental guy, and I like that a lot. Otherwise, probably Eminem, you know.
For sure, absolutely. Now we're going to what song are you going to play for us, by the way?
I'll play like a ballad first,
awesome.
So that since I haven't heard myself play over this yet, and
right.
I won't mess up that way.
Hey, Brad Seidenfeld playing it safe. We're going to take a quick 1 minute break. We'll let Brad get prepared here, and then we'll be back with some live music here on Doc and Lefty Webcast 1 Live. Stay tuned.
Nice.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
If Tom Coates from Consumer Credit of America was your personal webmaster, Tom would filter out all bad debt emails. If Tom was your mailman, you'd never get any debt reduction junk mail. If Tom Coates was a lineman, he'd block any phone calls offering to reduce your credit card debt.
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America, and we're still your best choice for credit counseling. We're local, we're accountable, and we can do more. You make the call when the time's right for you.
When it comes to competition, there really is none for Consumer Credit of America.
Whether you're 10, 25, 50, 80 years old and beyond, everyone needs to live within their means. I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America. For almost a quarter of a century, we've helped people of all ages learn to manage their personal finances to benefit them far into the future. When problems arise, we've got the experience you need to make those debt problems go away. Got financial problems? Call Consumer Credit of America.
All right, welcome back. This is Lefty with Doc and Lefty sitting in the captain's chair on this Tuesday. We are without the doctor, but we will persevere and keep calm and carry on. I'm sitting here with two local musicians, Brad Seidenfeld and Brian Baker, and Brad is just about to play a tune for us live on air, and he would like to take a chance to talk to you all about that song.
All right, so I'll start off. I'll play a ballad that I wrote maybe a year ago. I've really kind of simplified everything I've been doing, so... this one's called My Minnesota, and I used to live up there in the north and have a lady up there, so this is kind of a love-type ballad or whatever, so here goes. That's you in our sitting room chair with your gorgeous red hair. Well, that's you, and that's you. You're not perfect, I see, but you're perfect to me. Yeah, that's true. Girl, when you walk, I go walking along. Piling on reasons to write you this song. The sunshine, we don't get it year round on this frozen white ground that we live. And I'm warm when you're sleeping beside, when I open my eyes and you're there. Girl, when you wake, I'll be waking up too. I'd be crazy to waste one more minute with you. Yeah, with you. 'Cause you're mine, yeah, you're mine, my Minnesota. Now I see past your beautifulness and the way that you kiss. Yeah, I see it's something only music can play, that these words only say when I sing. Girl, when you're near, I can sing it in tune. And all of my midnights, they shine just like noon. Yeah, they shine, oh yeah, they shine. Girl, when you wake, I'll be waking up too. I'd be crazy to waste one more minute with you. Yeah, with you. Yeah, you're mine. Yeah, you're my Minnesota. There's been spaces and traces in places, estates from before. Girl, now you're mine. Oh, you're my Minnesota. From now on, let's take old Minnesota. From now on, let's take old Minnesota wherever we go.
Brad Seidenfeld with My Minnesota. That was really good, man.
Thanks.
Very nice.
That was fantastic. Now, I could really definitely hear the mayor sentimental influence for sure.
Yeah, I'm sappy. There's no doubt about it.
I got to ask you though. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We all have. That's why we play music in the first place.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you because I noticed something in the way Mayer writes songs, is that he he has a lot of place and a lot of static places like Why Georgia and a couple of different songs that in that nature that seem to kind of stabilize him a little bit in his really crazy life. Now, without getting too much into your process at this point, I was wondering if does that kind of come through? Is that something you ever thought about or?
This is the first time that I've kind of mixed a time and place in actually working the place into the song. I think with that one it was the specific reason I was there. I'd moved there, against my first rule of, for somebody to be with somebody, and that was it. That was the whole reason. So that was kind of the meaning there. I do love that idea of having a place, and one of my other favorite artists, Mike Doty, who used to be the Soul Coughing lead singer, talks a lot about incorporating like places, like geographical places in songs. I think when you do that, it paints an even like more vivid picture for your audience. Not that that's just, I wasn't doing it just for the audience, but they picture snow and they picture, like people with blonde hair. So I don't know what you picture when you think of Minneapolis, but and then like it creates, I don't know what it is. I think it creates this just kind of rustic feel. The Samples used to have this song called Indiana that I just loved because he's talking about driving through Indiana. Like I just love that, and I don't even care for Indiana really as a state that much.
I would tend to agree. I hope that you're not a Hoosier, Brian, because I've been to Indiana several times and I'm not a fan. Well, anyway, we're gonna take another quick 1 minute. Another 1 minute break, and then we'll get to Brian, and it looks like our mystery caller has chimed in, and so I'll definitely want to talk to him during the break. This is Lefty with Doc and Lefty. That was Brad Seidenfeld playing My Minnesota, Webcast 1 Live. Thanks for listening.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
Drug and alcohol addiction slowly steals a person's identity, tearing away pieces of their life little by little until one day it seems like the hope of a happy future is gone and there's no chance of getting it back. Here at St. Gregory Retreat Centers, we can assure you that there is hope. Our unique approach to recovery begins with the understanding that the dysfunction and damage caused by addiction can be overcome, not just dealt with. Don't let another day go by. Call St. Gregory today.
It's like they want to get hit.
Need a body shop?
Minor Wreck Express saves you time and money.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Lefty, your lovable liberal co-host of the Doc and Lefty Show. A few fist pumps because I know that these two guys that are sharing the table with me are liberal. But this week of all weeks, with so much going on in the world, it's not a political show today. I felt like I would give you all a break from politics, kind of a well-earned, well-worn break from a very weary subject, and share some of my own personal passion with you guys that has nothing to do with the law or poking fun at Dr. Patrick Prosch. Anyway, moving on to my other guest here, and the third guest is patiently waiting on the phone. Brian, I met you a few years ago at the Deacon's Day event, which is this great live music event in downtown Des Moines that helps raise money for Habitat for Humanity. You were in a band. I think you're performing in your band at that point, the Grape Ape Trust.
It was actually a duo subset of the Grape Ape Trust.
Yeah.
The drummer and I, who actually at that time was playing guitar, we were just both playing guitars for that event. But he and I are both songwriters and guitar players, and we actually do a duo as TMI.
That's it's something for the young kids, and we do appreciate that, though. We do appreciate that. Now, I want to point out, I don't know if you saw it on the telestrator there, but our fabulous engineer was able to get for you your particular background, and so we do appreciate that. But so cool. Kind of tell me where are your favorite places to play around Des Moines, and are you from Des Moines originally?
I'm from Nevada originally.
Okay.
So around Des Moines, but originally, Nevada Ames corridor. But I lived in California for a few years, and I've been back in Des Moines since '93. So.
Okay. And have you been? I mean, obviously, like everyone here, you've been playing your entire life, and pretty much. And what is it about Des Moines that brought you back?
A job. I worked for Triad Productions for several years, and doing their show control, which was animatronics and that sort of thing all over. I ended up traveling all over the place to do it. But when that kind of went a little south in 2001, because nobody was traveling to anything. And
that's true.
That's what we were in the business of building, was places to go. So I kind of looked around. I actually, for the last 10 years, have been working for Iowa Legal Aid.
Oh, well, that's a great organization. I did not know that. That's a great organization, and I send folks your way a lot, and worked with a couple of their folks while I was in law school. But and so last question, and I'll let you get on with your performance. What is it about the acoustic version of the guitar that kind of speaks to you? It's a really bad question, but I hope you can do something with it.
It's tough. I play both. Number one, the acoustic is one of those things that you can play anywhere for anybody, anytime, and you don't have to take along a huge kit of stuff to play it. That's one of the reasons why it's ideally suited for songwriting, because you can just go off in a corner and use an acoustic, and that's why a lot of my songs end up getting written for acoustic, because it's there.
That makes perfect sense. So we're going to take another quick 1-minute break. Brian's going to come back with the song that he's chosen for this evening. I'll let him introduce it in the same way that Bradley did. And we will get to our mystery caller who is waiting very patiently on the line. But anyway, this is Lefty, Doc and Lefty, Webcast 1 Live. Do not go anywhere. We've got more great music and an artist discussion that should be enlightening, horrifying, and fun all at the same time. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
Drug and alcohol addiction slowly steals a person's identity, tearing away pieces of their life little by little until one day it seems like the hope of a happy future is gone and there's no chance of getting it back. Here at St. Gregory Retreat Centers, we can assure you that there is hope. Our unique approach to recovery begins with the understanding that the dysfunction and damage caused by addiction can be overcome, not just dealt with. Don't let another day go by. Call St. Gregory today.
It's like they want to get hit.
Need a body shop?
Minor Wreck Express saves you time and money.
Welcome back to Doc and Lefty. We're here sitting with my good friends Brian Baker and Brad Seidenfeld. And Brad's already played. Brian's going to play a song of his that he's going to tell you a little bit about and then get started. Brian, if you don't mind.
Sure. It's pretty simple. It's my latest collection. I have a few albums out as a solo, and the latest one is called "Yeah, I'm a Geek." This is definitely part of that collection. Most of the songs are about kind of geeky subjects like monsters of some various sort, Second Life, that sort of thing. This one happens to be about a werewolf. So.
And what's it called?
Why Did It Have to Be the Moon?
Why Did It Have to Be the Moon? Brian Baker.
Why did it have to be the moon? Why does the full one always come too soon? Once I had love, but now there is blood on my hands that I can't explain. Why did it have to be the moon? And why does the full one always come too soon? I'm walking the floors and checking the doors and windows to make sure I can't leave. Why did it have to be the moon? And why does the full one always come too soon? Every 28 days I lock myself in a cage, 'cause if I don't, then people will die. Why did it have to be the moon? can become a wolf when the moon is full and bright. Why did it have to be the moon?
All right. I just knocked over Brad's camera. All right. Thanks, Brian. That was Why Did It Have to Be the Moon? I gotta tell you, I first of all, I really enjoyed that song for sure. But I gotta ask you, themes like werewolves, monsters, stuff like that is sort of throughout history. You think of like Monster Mash and some of those pop songs of the 50s have been more like novelty songs,
right?
But the really dramatic kind of open chords, sort of just it was a really cool juxtaposition that frankly I wasn't particularly ready for. And I'm just wondering, like, was that intentional? Was that something like that you just sort of did, or just kind of happened that way?
A bit, the way that song came together was I actually was trying to write something. Let me take a slight step backwards. I am actually one of the heads of the music department for DemiCon, which is an annual science fiction convention here in Des Moines.
Yeah, sure.
And 2 years ago, the theme was like dragons, and I was trying to come up with something as a song for that event, and I was playing around with that riff, and it just never went anyplace because I couldn't figure out how to fit lyrics in with it. Because I went, this is a cool riff. I like this. I got to do something with it, and I just stuck it in my pocket for a while. About 8 months later or so, in October, I was at a filk convention, which is I won't even get into that right now, but it's kind of music centered around that community.
Sure.
And I was trying to think of something for the next one, which happened to be the moon. That was the theme for this past one that happened in May, and it occurred to me that it might be interesting to write a song from the perspective of a werewolf who's racked by guilt. Those scenes in like American Werewolf where David Naughton is just like tearing his hair out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
About the fact that he's about to turn into a monster that's going to go kill people.
It occurs to me that werewolves would have a lot more of a conscience than other creatures of the night. But anyway, it looks like you have a CD there. Yep. Is that So I'm a Geek, or it's
I'm a Geek.
I'm a Geek. Okay, I'm a Geek. Brian Baker. Where can we purchase that CD?
Locally, ZZZ Records has it. It's also if you go to kaklick.com, that's KA-KLICK.com. You can get it through the music page there.
Fantastic. Now no, that's good. So if you enjoyed that song and many others like it, go to any of those places that Brian just told you and pick up Yeah, I'm a Geek. We're going to take another quick 1-minute break, come back with our special guest who's still waiting patiently. I like making him wait because there are many times that he made me wait throughout our brief history together. So tune back in for that. It's going to be really, really good. It's a guy that if you're friends with me or any of these guys here at the table, you know this guy, you love this guy, and you miss this guy. So for Doc and Lefty, I am Lefty. Webcast 1 Live. We'll be back in just a minute. Thank you very much for listening.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
If Tom Coates from Consumer Credit of America was your personal webmaster, Tom would filter out all bad debt emails. If Tom was your mailman, you'd never get any debt reduction junk mail. If Tom Coates was a lineman, he'd block any phone calls offering to reduce your credit card debt.
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America, and we're still your best choice for credit counseling. We're local, we're accountable, and we can do more. You make the call when the time's right for you.
When it comes to competition, there really is none for Consumer Credit of America.
Whether you're 10, 25, 50, 80 years old and beyond, Everyone needs to live within their means. I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America. For almost a quarter of a century, we've helped people of all ages learn to manage their personal finances to benefit them far into the future. When problems arise, we've got the experience you need to make those debt problems go away. Got financial problems? Call Consumer Credit of America.
All right. Welcome back to Doc and Lefty here on Webcast One Live. I'm sitting here with two of my good friends, Brad Seidenfeld and Brian Baker, who just performed a couple of their own original songs for you. And I really enjoyed it, so I hope that you guys did. We don't have the number up tonight because, frankly, there's too much music and not enough time for all of your phone calls. But if you go on the Facebook, the Doc and Lefty Facebook page, you can tell Doc and I both about, first of all, what a great job I did, and second of all, what a great job my two musician friends did, and how great it was to listen to a little bit of Des Moines' own talented live musicians here on the internet radio station. Anyway, finally, as promised, a really good friend of mine. This guy and I actually used to be in a band together before he hightailed it to the warmer climes of Florida. He's been sitting on hold this entire time, and I know that he's been itching and raring to go. He's got a new CD of his own to plug that he just got done a few months ago, and I'll let him tell you all about it. But anyway, here we are with Sean Bright calling in from his home in sunny Fort Myers, Florida. Sean, you are on the air.
It is beautifully warm down here.
Is it beautifully warm down there? Like, how beautiful is it?
Yeah, it was mid-80s today.
Mid-80s today. I think that he looked at the weather report up here in Iowa before he called in, I'm pretty sure. So how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I am great. How are you guys doing?
We're not too bad. We're anxious to hear what you've got to say. I know that you've got the new album is out, and I'm not gonna get caught in one of those pandering lies. Sean asked me today if I'd gotten a copy of it, and I didn't. I don't know how. Did you send a bunch of copies up here that I just didn't see? I know that I've listened to a few of the songs though.
It was probably one of those things where I said, "Hey, I've got a copy for you" when I was in town this last September, and it was probably one of those things where I said, "Hey, I got a copy for you, Blake. I'll have to get it to you before I go back." And of course, then I got back to Fort Myers and realized that I still had it in my duffel bag.
He takes all responsibility. Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. I have no idea why you would do something like that. But anyway, tell the listeners a little bit about your album.
Basically, it's it had been a while since I had done a full band album. I think the last one was 2007, 2008, right around there, and I decided that I wanted the full band album to be just me, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. It doesn't sound selfish. So I thought what I'd do is I'd go into a studio and see if I had any percussion chops, any piano chops, anything like that, and so I kind of wrote these songs on the guitar. There's 11 songs, and kind of just wrote them all on the guitar, and then went to the studio and kind of built them up from there. So did some harmonies, did some drumming, and a little bit of bass playing, I guess. So, but it's what you hear in one of the songs. I think that they're going to play there. One of the songs is it's all me. So there's a little horn section going on. I actually had my brother. He plays trumpet. I had him come in and do a little lick on that. So, but that's pretty much just the album. It's a lot of the songs are reminiscent about my wonderful days and friends in Iowa, and that's one of the songs that you'll be hearing here in a couple seconds. So
fantastic. Now I know, and most everybody who knows you kind of knows where you came up musically speaking. And that was with the Dave Matthews Band, and I'll just come right out and say it. But has any of that been reaffirmed since you moved to Florida? Is life a little bit more laid back down there that kind of eases into that Dave role, or do you find the Midwest is a little bit more kind of Dave speed, if that makes sense?
To be completely honest, I don't know if this Dave Matthews you speak of, but
all right, no. All right, funny guy. We're just gonna play the damn song, and if you're gonna be cracking jokes like that.
No, I mean basically it's I came down here and there isn't a huge Dave Matthews contingent down here. It's there's a few people that like it, and there's a few people that are more into the Zach Brown band. What I found is there aren't as many Jimmy Buffett fans down here playing shows down here. If I bust into a Jimmy Buffett song, I think they're trying to take tips from my tip jar instead of putting some in. So.
Now, that is nothing to take against Mr. Buffett, who's a major sponsor of this show.
Exactly.
No, that's a joke. Anyway, we're running out of time rapidly here, so we're going to bust right into. I think we're going to play the title track. Is that one of the ones you sent me? The title track.
Correct. It's the song "Arrived."
We're going to play "Arrived" for you here, and then we'll get right back into talking to these three crazy cats, and we're going to just go right into it without a break if we can, and have Ryan cue up "Arrived." This is Sean Bright, "Arrived," the title track from his new CD. Hope you like it.
Looking back, man, I can't understand how I let it get so bad. On the brightest days, I would find a shadow in the form of a cold bottle. Everyone would say, you need something different, so I went and made a new plan. I'm breaking the darkness and putting up a fight. I'm starting my life. Now I have arrived. No more feeling sorry. I will leave it behind. No more wasted time. 1,000 miles apart, 50 shades of lost. There is no pleasure when I'm missing you. But I'm getting used to this, playing by the water, riding in the sand. I wish you were here. I'm breaking the darkness and putting up a fight. I'm starting my life. Now I have arrived. No more feeling sorry. I will leave it behind. No more wasted time. No more wasted time. I remember the good times, just singing for friends. You know, to me they were all legends. I'm getting tired of strings. Oh, they're pulling my hand. Somebody give me that harmonica. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm breaking the darkness and putting up a fight. I'm starting my life. Now I have arrived. No more feeling sorry. I will leave it behind. No more wasted time. No more wasted time.
All right, that is "Arrive" by Sean Bright, and don't feel too bad, guys, because he had a lot longer of a time to work on that particular tune, and a lot of more instruments apparently. But Sean, that was awesome, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyway, I'm not gonna get too deep into the song right now because we got to go to another break. One of our important sponsors needs to weigh in here. But after the break, we're going to talk a little bit about that song and then kind of open it up. I got a few questions to ask the group as a whole. And so we will finish out the hour kind of just talking about the process, talking about playing around Des Moines, Florida, wherever it happens to be. Anyway, this is this next message coming up is from one of our very important sponsors. So pay attention and send them lots of money. They keep us on the air. This is Lefty, Doc and Lefty, Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner and general manager of Service Legends. I brought along a couple of the home comfort heroes.
Hi, I'm Tammy Wells.
I am Nick Wondershot.
I am administrative manager.
I am the senior technician
from Service Legends.
It seems like every good thing, when you feel it to the bone that it's good, there's a lot of hard work put behind it. I don't think that you can fake it and have it turn out good.
You know, if we seem like, okay, that's just weird, it's just a furnace, why would you believe so deeply in a furnace? It's not just that, you know, we want to show the world that you can have good service.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be, it's your home.
You know, it's built into our daily trainings, it's built into our culture, that we're going to do whatever it takes to have each client say they love us, period.
That's why we spend all the hours in the training that we do. And if we guarantee it's going to be a good experience for you, or else it's free, what type of work do you think we're going to do?
There is a guarantee.
Temperature selection guarantee, fixed right or it's free guarantee, comfort guarantee, best value guarantee. All of these guarantees hold us accountable to ensuring that we exceed your expectations. And if for whatever reason we'd fail and we can't make it right, we guarantee all of those guarantees with a 100% money back guarantee.
I mean, if you don't think that your technician can fix it right, are you going to say that to a client? No.
You don't have to worry about having a technician come to your house.
We drug test, background check all of our team members. We put safe people in your home. Each and every one of our service techs, 400 hours a year in training.
You tell it the minute they walk in the door. They know what they're doing, they've done their homework, and they actually truly care about what you want.
Because at the end of the day, you're the person that makes sure I have a job.
They're going to be listening. They're going to want to know what your challenges are. Then they're going to come and give you options, and you get to choose.
If I'm there to help and I make it easy and painless, I did my job right that day.
Well, when it comes to your comfort, safety, and your family, you know, you don't necessarily go buy the most expensive, but you get the most bang for your buck.
Oh, it's worth it, because there's a lot of people that will find a way to get it to work right now and then leave and then come back, charge you again, and the cycle just repeats itself. So when I'm out there looking at the furnace, I want to find why it failed today. How can we change the part today with something that you're not going to have to worry about? Is it worth changing the part today? I mean, you can put a lot of money into a furnace. I can fix parts all day. There's good job security in that for me, but is it the right thing for you?
I get a lot of the phone calls of after the technicians are there. They're just in awe. They're like, wow, you guys are great. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You guys are great. Everything you did was perfect. It was great.
Keep going, though. I like this.
Just give us a try. I'm going to take all the risk.
I've got the time to make this right. I've got the support to make it right.
Just check us out.
And if you don't see the value in what we do,
I mean, fixed right or it's free or 100% money back.
Enough said.
Welcome back, everybody, to Doc and Lefty. I am Lefty. The Doc is out. Hopefully, the Republican Party is draining his pockets. Actually, not so much, because he is the number one reason why we're all here today. That's no joke. But I'm sitting here with my good friends Brad and Brian. I got my buddy Sean on the phone. And first of all, Sean, about that title track, I noticed a couple of different nods to some of the folks that we know up here in Iowa. Am I being a little bit too self-indulgent, or were those actually put in there?
Yes. No, this was the one song that I knew that I couldn't be, I wasn't going to try and beat around the bush. I wanted to pretty much just say what I felt, what was going on, and especially that last verse, it goes out to my good friends from Legends, played for them quite a few times when I was still living there. And then, of course, to my main man, Mr. Blake Labinas on the harmonica there, that one line there. So, It's just a song that had to be it had to be written that way, and didn't want to make it too vague.
And that's a great segue for two reasons. One, buttering up the host is always to be advised. So, folks listening, if you're ever a guest on a show like this, or for everybody here who's a guest today, and first of all, thank you very much for doing this once again. I know that I thanked you all in private, but no, buttering up the host is a great way to go. Number one. Number two, that kind of brings us into the sort of the general discussion that I wanted to have in these last 15, 14 minutes with everybody, is kind of to describe a little bit about your process, sort of what your goals in songwriting are, whether or not you have a central theme or it's song to song. I know for myself, just to kind of get the ball rolling, when I write a song, it's really centered about what I'm feeling in a particular moment. Even though it will take, several days and sometimes several years to get a song completely done where I'm happy with it, the inspiration for the song came in a moment, or came in a really particular set of very specific feelings. And so just want to kick it out to you guys to kind of discuss, that first topic, like kind of what your process is and where songwriting comes from. And start with Brian.
It really depends. I hate to go with that, but like all of these songs that are on the new album are collected over time. I put together 11 songs about geeky stuff, but that's because I've been writing for years and collecting these weird songs that didn't really belong other places. I actually tried to put a couple of them on other albums, and it didn't work out as well as I liked. So it usually is song to song for me.
Yeah. What about you, Brad?
I'm just flat out not a good enough songwriter to decide I'm going to write about something and then go write a song. I'm extremely critical. I'll record on my iPhone the chord structure and maybe the first verse and chorus melodically, and listen to it. And if I can't remember it the next day without listening to it, I just erase it right off the face of the earth. So if it's not hooky enough, if it's too literal, I just get rid of it. And so I don't have a lot of output. I don't sell CDs. As I've come into my 30s, as I've gotten older, and I just play for socially, and I play for a little extra money. I really have written better, in my opinion. I have no intentions of selling it or anything. So most of my songs come from a moment, or from probably a strong, deep emotion, which is why they tend to be sappier, which is why they tend to only come around when somebody stabs a knife in my back or something like that. So
for sure, that's a little bit what I was kind of getting at. But Sean, I once again, I know Sean and I were in a group together for over a year, and sort of friends even before that. So I personally know a lot about your process, Sean. But why don't you kind of describe a little bit for the folks what you kind of take into and take out of songwriting?
Well, I think for me a big part is I always have trouble writing, a melody, a vocal melody. I can't. The guitar riff, whatever it may be, a guitar riff here, a guitar riff there, put it together. That's never been a real big issue. It's more along the vocal melody thing, and I think the way that I know that I have a song and it's done is if you can still add stuff to it. If the song can only get better, if that makes any sense. I mean, if you play it one night and people love it, but then the next night you play it either say you add a little another little chord to it, or you're always building it. I think that's how you know that you've written a pretty good song, if you can do a variation on it and people still know it as that one specific song.
For sure. Now, the next thing that and we're, like I said, we're rapidly running out of time. But I wanted to kick this back because this is something that I've noticed about all three of you guys. I've seen Brad live a couple of times, and I've actually had the pleasure of performing a little bit and jamming with you a couple of times, Brian. But humor really, is sort of runs through every song and every well, not maybe every song, but a lot of the songs that you guys write. I know that if you've ever seen Brad's live show, it is hilarious, and a lot of the times. And Brian also just, I mean, the song you played tonight, even though it dealt with the very serious topic of getting mauled by a werewolf, had some really humorous elements to it. And Sean, you've written songs as well that have a lot of humor, and just kind of wanted you to discuss a little bit about the role that humor plays in the songs that you write. When you maybe enough is enough, when you maybe there's too much or not enough. You just kind of discuss a little bit about that, and I'll let Brad start this discussion off.
Well, I have. That's what you know how you find your niche, and I mean being funny or timing has become my niche. Like I react with audiences well. I don't incorporate a lot of it into my songwriting, which is why there's not a whole lot of crossover between my solo shows that I play around town and my songwriting. The songwriting is more of a personal thing for me. I think that humor is probably more powerful in some ways than music is, so when you can make somebody laugh, when you're out entertaining people, you have to remember that. And unfortunately, like I said before, I don't find a lot of that crossing over into my songwriting because it comes from such a personal place, and it only springs up when it needs to as kind of a therapy type deal.
Sure.
But I wish it would,
then maybe a little bit of the performance aspect of it, then the performative aspect of humor, as it relates to sort of just playing the guitar or singing or whatever.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, anytime you can incorporate the two together, I think that you can, impersonate somebody with music, and it's even funnier than when you impersonate somebody just without music, anytime you add that. And then, for me, like when I'm playing live, there's the great part of you get to be funny in the middle of a song, but then you can finish the song and it stands on its own, so you don't feel pressured to be funny 100% of the time, which leaves room to breathe. And like I said, is all built into that whole timing thing with humor. So I don't think I really answered that very well, but
no, that's okay.
Humor being good.
Sean, really quick.
I think humor is fantastic, especially during live shows. You can, if you can make that audience, that crowd for that one night, invite them into your own head, and then you play your music for them, and show that there's still a little humor in there. I think that's the greatest thing.
Fantastic. Brian?
Yeah, humor's always been a very big part of what I've been about. Bare Naked Ladies are a big influence, and there's a reason that they're still bringing in pretty good crowds, even after losing Stephen Page.
For sure,
even though their songs are not necessarily all funny, they have this great kind of chemistry and sense of humor. Their live show is hilarious, and humor is a big thing.
It's just, and it's one of those things that you'd like. I don't know about you guys, but it's just, if the making someone else laugh is so much harder. And the thing that I always struggle with is that I crack myself up constantly. I do. That doesn't mean that I'm particularly funny or clever. You're
Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very amused by the antics that I do. And so if I write a song where I'm feeling particularly snarky about something and it comes through in the song, it cracks me up. But I've noticed, sort of getting to your point about songwriting being more personal, I've noticed that it a lot of the times doesn't really translate to performative setting, because just as strong emotion or some sort of strong kind of like a sad or romantic or angry feeling can be some kind of like very personal humorous feeling, can also not be off-putting necessarily, but more isolated or insular and tougher to access for folks who aren't in on the joke necessarily. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for the discussion. We got about 5 minutes left, and so I want to take this brief opportunity, as I do every week, to kind of let people know what's going around Des Moines, and I'll have and Florida today, since we have a Floridian Hey, thanks for the win down there, Sean. I know that you were pulling for the president in the last election. Anyway, we'll get into that maybe next week. I'll have Sean making a very angry phone call from Fort Myers next week when the politics is back on the air. But I want to let everybody know that tomorrow night, once again, the weekly open jam at the Standard is being hosted by our friends It's Complicated. I know that you guys know a few of those guys, maybe. Yep. Got our good friend Tony Bonekamp, his New Year's Eve performance at the end of December, obviously. Pianapalooza is going to be just unbelievable. But anyway, Brad, do you have any gigs coming up in the near future?
I'm playing Friday night at the Ingersoll Avenue Wellman's Pub. Or whatever.
Right on, yeah. By yourself or with your band?
No, yeah, by myself. And then I think at 8. And then the bar that the guys from Decoy just bought, Bombay Bicycle Club, I'm playing there with my band on the 7th, Friday.
Very good,
December
very good.
7th.
Brian, you got some stuff coming up?
The closest stuff that we have is it's all clustered right around the weekend before Christmas.
That is a terrible idea.
Your
family must hate your guts.
We have a corporate gig with the band on the 20th. And then we have on the 21st. Every year we've for the last few years we've been playing a holiday last day of school thing for the Smouse school.
Sure.
Which is for the I'm trying to think of the politically correct term for it.
But, that's okay.
Disabled school in Des Moines.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, those probably aren't open to the public, though. So
those aren't. We're also in discussion about something that may be going on that Saturday.
Okay, very good. We'll keep you posted for that.
Yeah.
Mr. Bright, now I know that there are a few folks up here in Des Moines that would love to come down and see a Sean Bright show, if nothing else than for the weather. So why don't you let us know what's coming up and if we'll be able to get a copy of Arrived up here in Iowa.
Basically, I'm performing every Friday night at the Pierside Grill on Fort Myers Beach, and from 6 to 10 o'clock every Friday night. As for my beautiful friends in Des Moines, I will be back in the middle of March 2013 and be playing some shows and possibly playing in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. But as for getting the CD, there is no real digital download or anything right now. So as of right now, you might just have to wait till March and then get a hold of me.
Hey, well, with bated breath, my friend, with bated breath, I once again, because I get to be the host of the show today, I don't have anything coming up in the near future. I don't play nearly as much as maybe as I used to, mainly because I run this show and it takes a lot of preparation and work to. No, it doesn't. That's not true. It's just, it's a timing thing. But anyway, I want to thank my guests one more time, Brad Seidenfeld, Brian Baker, Sean Bright calling in from Florida, playing a bunch of their tunes. And seriously, everybody, check these guys out, because not only are they friends of mine and they were good enough to come in on short notice and really bail Mike Keister out of a jam, they are great and talented, as you could tell, talented musicians, and have their own sort of unique place in the Des Moines market and their own sort of a way of comporting themselves musically, and I couldn't be happier to count them among my friends and people that I get to see on the weekends whenever I want to. So if it's good enough for me, I know it's good enough for you. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Blake Labinas. I'm Lefty, Doc and Lefty. Webcast 1 live every Tuesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. Thank you very much. Thank you all for listening. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week.